Bruce to give the time frame and how he decided he wanted to play football to sort of get a story straight that was a little fabricated earlier in the year. Bruce, why don't you tell him how you came about, when we first talked and so forth?
I talked to Coach Horn about I wanted to come out and play football because I missed it. I talked to him first before I came and ever talked to Coach Sperry about playing football. So to get the story straight, Coach Sperry never talked to me since I could tell I came to him.
He talked to Coach Horn, came talk to me, said, I want to play football, simple as that. And I guess there was a misleading, fabricated story that I tried to recruit him, and I jilted the basketball program, and this wasn't true, but a lot of things we read aren't true, so we've come to accept it. But thank you, Bruce, just want to get the story straight.
Everybody knows Alshon, Bruce, Stephen Garcia, Marcus Lattimore. First question is for Pete.
Stephen, we might as well just get it out of the way. What happened back in April, and how have you coaches alluded to the lifestyle changes, things like that. How have you changed your life since then?
It's it's kind of a maturity thing. Back at that little seminar, it kind of got a little crazy towards the end, and the guy asked me to leave, and I left, and I ended up getting a hold of the guy the next day and apologized for what happened. And we talked, and didn't think it was going to be this kind of a deal, but it happened, and it's past me, and it's a completely different kind of deal I'm working with now.
What have you done? Coaches talk about lifestyle changes. What are some of the things you've done?
Just focusing a lot more, really. I mean, that's what it comes down to, just a lot more focused.
Surely I have other questions.
Stephen, can you kind of describe what the off season has been like for you? What kind of things you've been through?
As far as the summer? Yeah. We had a run with, the quarterbacks had a run with these guys, and it was pretty painful trying to keep up with them. But, I lost a little bit of weight, much needed weight that I needed to lose, and, I think it was a pretty good summer workout. Actually, probably the best summer workout I've had since I've been here.
How about as far as your off-field counseling?
I'm not really sure what you're asking, to be honest.
As I understand, you were put into some counseling, and what exactly was that?
No, it wasn't really counseling at all, actually. It was, I talked to the team doctor just every now and then, just to chit-chat, really. It wasn't any sort of counseling.
Just for all four of you guys, I take answers from many of you. All of you know what it's like to be under the microscope here, how glaring the spotlight can be. What advice would you have or would you give Jadavian, because the spotlight's going to be huge on him this year? Marcus, you came into it as a freshman last year. Steve, we certainly know what it's like.
Yeah, and I've talked to him a couple of times, and I just told him, just to be himself. It got him, 50 plus offers, being himself. And if he continued to do what he's been doing and, stay humble, he'll be fine.
Anybody else?
No, I completely agree with him. As long as he just stays focused and, listens to the coaches, I think he'll be just fine.
I just think, like Marcus and Steven said, just be humble and just have a circle of friends that people you can trust, and just stay away from all the negative. I agree with these guys.
Stephen, are you hoping that today, finally, we put all of this other stuff behind you and just talk football from this point on?
Yeah, that'd be nice, but I'm sure that's not going to happen, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I've been dealing with it since I first got here, my first month here. So I've developed some pretty thick hide, so I'm used to it. I hope that it's passed, but if it's not, then it's not. It is what it is.
I'm sorry, Stephen, it's not.
Yeah.
There's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Mm-hmm. So you've had a couple of incidents. Tell South Carolina fans, why can they trust you now?
They just have to, I guess. I'm asking them to. I feel like I've talked with Coach Sperry a lot this offseason, and our relationship has improved a lot since this whole thing transpired, and hopefully they take me back one more time.
How about the, leave the off-field stuff aside, just, Coach has talked in the past about he wishes you were more of a student of the game and that kind of thing. Can you just talk about that part of it, how much that has developed, do you think, in you now compared to whatever, a couple, 2-3 years ago or so?
Well, I mean, I've been watching a lot more film, I would say, and drawing up, the ball plays, as he says, and, trying to know where everybody's going at all times, and, recognizing coverages a lot faster. As far as that goes, I've just been doing a lot of that more than I have ever been.
You guys seem closer than you have in years past. Have y'all developed any kind of sense, back here in the back, developed any kind of a sense of not wanting to let the guy beside you down, knowing that this is an opportunity that's in front of you, there's so much talent on this team that you want to make sure each and every one of you does your own part to make sure that this opportunity doesn't slip away? I mean, Marcus, you seem like you've really taken a leadership role.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're here, together all day, every day. And we have no choice but to build relationships and, be close as a team. And I just feel like I can trust all these guys beside me and trust everybody on the offensive line, just trust the whole team. And, we're going to have some positive things come out of this year, I think.
This is a question for all the players right here. South Carolina has never really gotten a whole lot of respect in the SEC. Always been picked middle of the pack. How does it feel to be picked to win the East and to be the top dog right now?
I mean, it's a normal feeling to me because we just got to listen to our coaches and stay humble about it. I mean, you can pick anyone to win. I'm sure no one picked Auburn to win it last year. So I mean, it's not where you start; it's where you end up at. So I mean, we just got to stay humble and just stay focused.
Agreed.
Steve, when this all happened this summer, did your life kind of flash before your eyes again, your USC life, I guess, kind of like 2008? Did you wonder if you were going to get another shot to come back?
Yeah, definitely. I was even contemplating giving myself a second shot. It was a rough spring I had. And thankfully I had Marcus and Alshon and the rest of the players on the team that took to the Twitter accounts and Facebooks and stuff, and really put it in my head that I really love these guys a lot, and I'm very thankful to still be here, and that made the difference, I think. Just having the players on the team have my back like they did, and it meant a lot to me.
And when Coach suggested that you might transfer or could look somewhere else, do you remember what that conversation was like or what you said?
The same thing it was, back in 08, when I got in trouble for the second time, I think it was. He said, if you want to transfer, you can, we'll sign the papers or whatever. And what I told him then and what I told him again is that, Coach, I, committed to play here, and, I'm going to finish out my career here. And that's, thankfully, Mr. Hyman took me back and Coach Berger took me back, and, hopefully the fans will as well.
Stephen, what possibilities are there this season to kind of maybe repair your legacy, and what exactly do you want your legacy to be once you play your final down here?
I'm not really worried about my legacy per se. I'm more worried about the team in general. The ultimate goal, of course, is to win the SEC championship, and if you do that, you have a pretty good shot at winning the national championship, as the past 5 years has indicated. That's all I'm really worried about, to be honest.
To follow up on that, Stephen, I think you definitely have a chance to leave here as the school's all-time leading career leader, both passing yardage and touchdown passes. How much thought do you give to that? And also for Alshon, how much thought do you give to maybe to becoming the all-time leading receiver by the end of this year?
I mean, I don't really think about it unless somebody brings it up, to be honest. But it's not really about that for us. We're both team guys, I think, and the team in general is just everybody's worried about each other, not individual. So I think that's what makes this team a lot different than years past since I've been here.
Man, I don't really think about it. I mean, it's a great accomplishment if it happens. I mean, I give credit to my teammates, my coaches, and everyone else. Helping me. Well, main thing I'm concerned about is us winning and stay focused and just taking my game at a time, staying healthy, and getting better every day.
Marcus, to your left over here, do you recall how old you were when you first heard about the Heisman Trophy, the first maybe Heisman Trophy ceremony you watched, and what it would mean to win that?
The last one I remember watching was when Sam Bradford won it. And it would mean a lot, to be honest with you. And, you know, the last two Heisman winners have a national championship. So that's a team award. And it would be great to win.
Do you remember the first time, though, that you paid attention to the Heisman?
First time I saw it was when Sam Bradford.
One and only.
There you go.
Stephen, what are some of the specific things on the field that you need to get better at in the next few weeks before season beginning?
Recognize the coverage a lot faster. You know, I feel like I'm getting there. But, you know, recognizing the coverage faster and getting the ball to the open area of the defense. And, you know, that's always been the main concern, really, since I've been here. You know, it's also been, you know, take your steps and just throw the ball and, you know, don't take sacks and don't turn the ball over. But, you know, I think recognizing the defense is probably one of the main things that you need to focus on.
Do you feel like you're throwing the ball better than you ever have before?
Absolutely.
Stephen, so much of a quarterback's game is just having confidence in the guys around him and that he's throwing to. Could you talk about the hands, maybe, of the fellows sitting around you, and could the guys talk about how they feel like their hands are such an important part of their game and what they do?
I mean, it's easy throwing guys like these guys. Really, you know, they get a lot of separation from the defenders. You know, when they're wide open, it's hard to miss them, and you know, you feel miserable if you do. But you know, these guys catch everything that you throw at them, and you know, they're just wide open all the time, and it makes it a lot easier.
Mr. Martin, talk about your hands a little bit, but does that make you what you are, you think?
I mean, I think it's maybe it's my work ethic, like catching the ball a lot. Where I think give most of my credit. I mean, it's God giftability, I guess.
Stephen, two parts. First, how important was it to improve your relationship with your head coach? And two, are you in graduate school or are you taking undergraduate courses? And if so, what courses are you taking?
Well, I mean, it was pretty vital to me staying here, you know, as far as improving my relationship with Coach Spurrier. You know, Miss Spurrier has been great as well. You know, she was right there, you know, when the whole thing went down, and, you know, she helped me get through it a lot. But I mean, we probably have the best relationship we've had since, you know, he was recruiting me out of high school, which, you know, I think is a big step towards you know, a successful season for me, really, individually. But as far as classes go, I am not taking graduate classes. I'm taking a few online classes, a Navy SEAL warfare class that I thought would be pretty interesting, and I think archery is another class.
All right.
Online archery?
Marcus, can you talk about how last year ended? Was that a little extra motivation this year, maybe going into the offseason?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we don't want to feel that way, you know, that we felt at the Auburn game or at the Florida State game. Hate losing, and, you know, it was motivation going into the summer, and we worked hard as we could. And now we're working even harder, getting ready for the season.
What about personally that hit you took by Gregory? Just get knocked out like that, was that a little extra? Yeah, maybe.
Well, I don't remember, what happened, but yeah, it was kind of motivation, you know.
Mr. Kendall?
Stephen, another two-parter, I'm sorry. First of all, you mentioned you almost didn't give yourself a second chance. Bruce can take notes if you need to. You said you almost didn't give yourself a second chance. Were you thinking about transferring? Were you thinking about chucking it entirely? And
No, I mean, I was just thinking about transferring really, but after I saw and heard what these guys were saying on their media sites, it really put it all in perspective, and I said, I can't leave these guys here, so that's what it came down to really.
second part would be about Alshon. What is it like to throw it up to him, and how much confidence do you have that no matter where it goes, he'll get it?
How many catches did he have last year?
80.
Pretty confident in throwing to him. It makes it easy. Makes your job easy.
James? Marcus, two-parter. One, a lot of guys wouldn't want to talk about the Heisman Trophy. You seem to embrace it. Why? And two, have you ever been to New York City?
I have been in New York City when I went to go visit Rutgers, and it was amazing. Got to see Times Square and all that stuff. But I mean, it's there now. I have a legitimate shot at winning, and it's a dream, something I've dreamed about all the time.
Why in the world did you go visit Rutgers?
I went with my quarterback, Chase Dodd.
Good answer.
Question for Marcus and Steven. Just talk about the improvement and the progress the offensive line has made from last year to this year.
I mean, I feel like they've gotten a lot better, and we got some new guys in there now. We got a real athletic line, and they can move. And last 3 or 4 practices we've had in pads, inside zones, and I mean the team inside we've been doing, it's been looking real good. And it's been looking better than ever, and we got a great O-line.
Mr. Carmelo?
Stephen, because of what's happened with you off the field, I think the public perception and maybe the media perception is that you have a problem with alcohol. So just to put it on the record, do you have a problem with alcohol? Have you had a problem? And if so, is it something that you seek assistance for?
Negative. No.
Oh, Chris, go ahead.
Alshon, there's a lot of big-time receivers in college as well as the NFL who really embrace the media covers, the limelight. Yet sometimes you kind of seem like that you don't really care for it, that you'd rather just kind of do your thing and just that be that. Is that an accurate assessment?
I mean, I don't really worry about what the media got to do. I just worry about my team and just focus on whatever we got to take care of business. Because, I mean, that's your job. To hype someone up or down talk someone. So, I mean, that's on y'all. I just worry about my teammates and just stay focused on our goals.
Stephen, over the course of your USC career, up here in the back, have you grown more as a football player or as a person?
I would say all the above, really. I've learned a lot since I've been here. Coming in here, I didn't think it was going to be this kind of a fishbowl, as you could say. I learned the hard way, which I tend to do over the course of my life. But I guess I wouldn't have it any other way. It's made me who I am today, and there's you only live once. So I feel like I've learned a lot since I've been here, and hopefully continue to go the rest of my life.
Marcus, Stephen, and Alshon, and to an extent Bruce for your basketball days. How good is it to feel like you don't have to be the only playmaker on the team, that you've got other guys that can pick you up in different situations?
I mean, to me, it feels good because, I mean, if I was the offensive coordinator, I'd probably get ball to Marcus every play. So, I mean, it's very good to me. So, I mean, whatever the coaches call, so, I mean, it's a good feeling, but, I mean, at the same time, even if it's not Marcus, Steven, or me, someone else must step up. We got to make plays. So, I mean, just because we may be the main guys, but someone on the team has to step up because the O-line don't get a lot of credit as we do.
Same kind of thing Alshon said. We're a balanced offense. We got Alshon. We got a lot of tall receivers, those quick receivers. I mean, we keep defense on their toes, and I mean, it's just hard to stop.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Just like these guys said, we got a lot of options. We can go to anybody. And that's great for a team because, you know, like Marcus said, keep the defense on their toes and hopefully we can win, keep winning.
Yep.
You have time for two more.
Steven, talk about in this offense how important it is to have big guys like Alshon on the outside, but then also have some of those guys as small receivers that move real well in space.
Well, I mean, just like they were saying, it keeps the defense on their, on their toes, and make sure they're aware of, all the possibilities that we have of, getting through the defense, and hitting these guys on a little slant. They can break a tackle and they're gone, 80 yards. And there's a big third down, you just throw a little fader out to Alshon, catches it, and first down, keep the chains moving. You can hand the ball off to Lattimore and he'll run 95 yards for a touchdown. Or 5 yards for a first down. It's the best offense, I've had since I've been here. I think the team would say that, and, the offensive line has been working so hard during the offseason. It was awesome to see him, out here during the summer workouts. Thankfully I was out here, and I think we got a special team here.
Steven, when you weren't with the team, what were you doing to stay in shape, and did you throw it all?
I mean, I wasn't throwing a whole lot. I was probably throwing a baseball more than anything, just trying to take some frustration out. But that and just going to the Strom and playing basketball and just trying to stay in some sort of shape. That's about it.
All right. We got about 32 folks that should be up in the